With over 120 4K distortion effects, Corruption is a product unlike any before. Using Corruption, you can quickly add distortion elements to your video projects faster than ever before. In the following video, I'm going to show you how to unpackage, organize, and use Corruption in Final Cut Pro, Premiere Pro, and After Effects. Let's hop in. When you download Corruption, it's going to pop up in multiple zip files. To open these zip files, simply select them and go to Open. After you get done unzipping the files, you'll notice that Sci-Fi distortion and digital distortion are good to go. But analog distortion, because the file sizes are so big, is actually broken up into multiple folders. To create your own folder, simply go to New Folder, and we'll type in Analog Distortion. Now all you have to do is grab the 4 separate folders and drop them into Analog Distortion. You can go ahead and delete the empty Analog Distortion folders and put them in your trash, and now you're good to go. If you wanted to, you could select all 3 of these files and create a new folder with the selection, and we can call this new folder Corruption. And you're good to go. Let's hop into Final Cut Pro and see Corruption in action. Using the backgrounds in Corruption is incredibly easy. All you have to do is find the background you want and drag and drop it into your project. Final Cut Pro will prompt you to change your format if you have no video clips in the timeline. For our example, we'll say that we're using 4K video and hit OK. To use one of the many overlays inside of Corruption, simply select the overlay you want and drag and drop it over your video footage. With the overlay selected, go to the inspector and go to the very bottom to blend mode and select screen. Now you'll notice that there are edges at the top and bottom of the video frame. This is simply because our video format is in 4K, which is a 17:9 aspect ratio, whereas HD footage is in a 16:9 aspect ratio. That's no problem though. With your overlay footage selected, you can simply go to the very top, hit the arrow down for the scale, and scale up the Y. Anything above 109% will do just fine. And let's go ahead and play it back. Excellent. Digital glitch transitions are incredibly easy to use with Corruption. Simply find the transition you want, drag it into the timeline, and we'll find a place, let's say right about here, and we'll go to our blending mode and set it to screen. And just like before, we want to scale up the footage so that it fits entirely in our frame. So we'll go to scale, hit the drop down arrow, and move the Y above 109%. And so now if we play it back, we see that there is a nice glitch transition between our 2 video clips. Corruption is the easiest way to create a digital logo reveal. So in our project here, we have a clip of the Eiffel Tower and some text that will serve as our logo. What I'm going to do is drag one of our logo reveals over the center where it's right in the middle is lined up with the beginning of the text. And with the logo reveal selected, I'm going to go down to blend mode and set it to screen. So now if we play it back, we can see that there's a glitchy transition and the logo pops up. As you can see, Corruption is incredibly easy to use in Final Cut Pro. Let's show you how it's done in Premiere. Just like with every other video editing software, Corruption is incredibly easy to use in Premiere Pro. All you have to do is simply drag a video clip into your timeline. So for our background here, it's as easy as that. But you may want to set your preview mode to something like 1/16 or 1/8, just because we're working with 4K files and these files are incredibly large. Overlays are also incredibly easy to use in Premiere. Simply drag the overlay above your desired video clip, and with the overlay selected, go to Opacity, Blend Mode, and set it to screen. Now you'll notice that our top and bottom edge here are sticking out a little bit, and again, that's because this is 4K video in an HD format. So 4K video is in a 17:9 aspect ratio, whereas HD footage is 16:9. To fix this, simply go to Motion, Scale, deselect Uniform Scale, and you can scale up the height to anywhere above 109. And let's preview it. Excellent. As you can see, Corruption has quickly made this video look distorted. To show our logo reveal in action, I have a quick sequence here with a clip of New York and some text that pops up. The text will serve as our logo. Simply drag over your logo reveal of choice and center it up along your cut point. With the distortion selected, go to opacity, blend mode, and set it to screen. And just like before, we're going to go to motion, scale, and scale it up above 109%. And turn off uniform scale. So let's preview it. As you can see, you can create a smooth, glitchy logo reveal in seconds with corruption. Now let's go to our transitions. Transitions are just as easy as logo reveals. Simply drag over your transition of choice and center it up along your cut point. With the clip selected, go to opacity and set your blend mode to screen. Go to motion, deselect uniform scale, and scale up your height to about 109. And let's play it back. Excellent. As you can see, this has created a neat glitchy effect in a matter of seconds. Let's hop on over to After Effects to see the full extent of what corruption is capable of doing. After Effects is where corruption really shines. To illustrate this point, I'm going to drag in some distorted background into our composition here. Now, this is just simple footage of a distorted background, just kind of making shapes and kind of just glitching out. But what we want to do is put it onto our computer monitor here. Now, in order to do that, I'm going to type in corner pin and apply the corner pin effect to our video. Now we can simply grab the edges and line it up perfectly with our monitor here. It should only take just a few seconds. And we can just fix the edges as we need. And play it back. As you can see, we've created a glitchy computer screen in only a matter of seconds. After Effects is also really good for creating logo reveals, and when you add in corruption, it takes it one step further. So our composition here just has a simple background and some text. Now, what we're going to do is bring down a logo reveal, and we're going to scale this down because remember, it's in 4K and our composition is only in HD. And I'm going to apply a tint effect. And let's go to black here, and we'll set the brightness to 50% and hit OK. Now let's go ahead and pre-compose this video, hit Shift-Command-C, and move all attributes to the new composition. Now let's go ahead and turn off the eyedropper and go to Layer, New Adjustment Layer. Type in Displacement Map and apply the displacement map to your adjustment layer. Go ahead and move the adjustment layer below the distortion composition, and let's take the displacement layer from the analog logo reveal composition, and we can go ahead and turn this up. In fact, let's go ahead and wrap pixels around and let's crank this up a lot here. Somewhere right about there, and we can turn up the vertical displacement in the same way. So now if we preview this here, excellent. As you can see, this created a cool digital glitch logo reveal in only a matter of seconds. And if you wanted to, you could turn on the eyeball for our analog distortion composition here and set the transform mode to overlay. If you preview it back now, you can see that there's a little more white pixels applied to our composition, and this can just help sell the effect a little bit more and give you a unique and different look. Let's move on to the overlays. The overlays found in Corruption are one of my favorite parts about this awesome pack. To use them, simply drag and drop them into your composition, and let's go ahead and scale it down to our frame size. And to do that, we're going to use a quick keyboard shortcut. We're going to hold down Option-Command-F, and it scales it down to fit our composition. Now let's add in a tint effect to this footage and change the black to 50%. So the brightness will go to 50 and hit OK. And let's go ahead and pre-compose this overlay footage. So hit Shift-Command-C and move all attributes to the new composition. Let's turn off our eyeball here and go to the effects browser and type in displacement. And let's add in a displacement map to our footage underneath. And instead of getting our displacement map layer from the clip itself, we're going to take it from the overlay composition. And now what you can do is select wrap pixels around, and we can just crank this up to where it's really distorting our video. In fact, I'm going to just keep cranking this until it goes all the way around our composition. Cool, somewhere about there. And you can do the same thing for vertical and just keep cranking it up. Till it's about there. And let's go ahead and preview this clip. Excellent, and just like before with our logo reveal, you could turn on the eyeball and set the transfer mode to overlay. And this just adds in a few more of the white pixels to the video, and depending on your needs, this could be a good solution for you. Let's move on to the last thing, transitions. Using the transitions in After Effects is just as easy as Final Cut Pro and Premiere. Simply drag the transition into your composition and set the transfer mode to screen. So now if you play it back, you can see that the cut is easily hidden by this cool glitchy video. As you can see, corruption is the easiest way to add digital glitch elements to your project. If you have any questions about how to use corruption, go check out the FAQ page on our website or email our support staff. We will happily answer any questions you have. And of course, be on the lookout for many more video packs in the near future.